Okay, so great evening, great afternoon, great morning, great night. Now that's one of our intros for our L300 podcast. But this is not the L300 podcast. This is the L300 Impact Stories. Yeah, this is where we get to share the stories from the impact of the L300 program on the participants of the program. Sometimes people feel like, oh, the program is just stressful, it's not interesting, it's not fun. But like we always tell people that the things that stretch you, those are the things that help you grow and become better. So we get to have guests who have gone through the program and are willing to share their impact story. And today we have another amazing guest who just graduated and who is here to share with us in the L300 studios the impact story that the L300 program had on her. How you doing, Kume?
I am very good.
You're good,
Yeah.
right? How does it feel to be a grad? By the way, tell us about it. Who's Kume? Who's Kume?
It's Kume.
Yes, who's Kume?
Um, Kume is a graduate, first of all.
Oh,
Kume is someone who has grown so much. I can see it's so visible. She's strong, she's resilient, she's confident now. Yeah, she's kind.
wow,
Mhm.
that's nice. So let's take you back memory lane. Can you remember the first day you stepped foot on campus? Like you're a BX 100 level fresher. How was it like for you that very first day? How was your experience?
It was chaotic. So chaotic.
What was the chaos in
Mm.
it?
It first of all, BIU wasn't a place I thought I was going to come to.
You thought you were going to Harvard.
I, I didn't even know BIU to start with, honestly
Wow.
speaking. Yes, I didn't know BIU. I heard it from friends, honestly. But unfortunately, those friends are not even in BIU.
Oh,
So
wow.
I ended up in BIU. So that day I came to school like quite late. I resumed like 2 weeks after every other person had resumed. Um the day I resumed, it felt so strange, but not so strange because I knew somebody in BIU. So, and funny enough, it was quite welcoming. BIU students can be very kind when they want to. So we were hearing, oh, welcome to BIU, welcome to BIU. Like, what's going on here? What's going on? Is this how people are? It was chaotic, but also sweet and sad because, oh, I'm leaving home, I'm leaving my family members, a place that I've been for so many years. Yeah.
Fast forward 4 years after I graduated.
Wow. Yes, I am. I am. Ah, it has been a roller coaster of emotions, honestly speaking. It has been sweet, it has been bitter, it has been sad, happy, so many achievements, honestly speaking, so many places of for growth to happen, and it has happened, even in places that I did not really expect it, or things that I didn't even see were going to happen. I think I've achieved even more than I expected.
Awesome. Glad you achieved some things while you were here, and you're still going to achieve more after you leave here. Now, the L300 program, which is why we're here for the impact stories, what would you say the program was like for you?
At first, in 100 level, that was when I joined. I volunteered to join because I didn't want to idle, but I saw an opportunity to keep myself busy. But along the line, there's been an avenue for growth, like genuinely. I know, but people will just come and be like, "Oh, I've grown." It has been like for real, it has been an avenue for me to grow, um, to understand myself even better, um, to know people. So yeah, it has really been an amazing
So you
journey.
talk about there's been an avenue for you to grow. Can you give us
Mm,
one example of how you have grown through being on the program? Just one example that you can share.
okay. This is an example.
Okay.
This is not something I saw myself, or yeah, I saw myself doing when I was in 100 level. I wasn't the type of person that would want to talk to people, or let alone talk to somebody and it's being recorded and then for the world to see. Um, it wasn't difficult for me to talk to people, but it was difficult for me to talk to people. when the opportunity came, I would talk, but it wasn't as easy as it was. Yeah. Um Communicating is so it comes easy for me now. Growth again, probably leadership. Yeah, leadership and teamwork. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm.
Awesome. Okay, so now, how would you say that the L300 program impacted you while you were on the program, right? I know that you were also a volunteer at some point, but the program generally itself, training sessions, the videos, the movies, the podcasts, all the things that's being done on the program, how would you say those things impacted you while you were on the program, including holiday tax?
Okay, I'll start from how it's impacted me. As much as we were here to give examples to like other students in BIU, there was always not one or two, so a million things to learn while doing it. So we were there to show example, but we're also there learning ourselves. Um, Teamwork, like I said, there were so many times we had to come together as a team to work on any project that we had as L300 volunteers. And normally, I would not have patience with people, but look at me now. Basically, I've even had more opportunities to work with so many people, and it has gone so smoothly. It has so smoothly. Um, Holiday task. You know that feeling when you feel like, okay, I've gone through months and months and months of reading, stress. Okay, it's time for me to relax, and then holiday task just comes and be like, psych. Relax way. But it was fun. At first it was like, this man has come again. But then when we actually go through the books, the movies. Actually, one of my favorite movies came from Holiday Tax,
Which
Social
is,
Dilemma.
oh,
Till tomorrow, I'm going to like I would always love Social Dilemma. So yeah, as much as it looked like it was stressful at that point, at the end of the day, literally now looking back, I mean, so,
fantastic. So, would you say there were some skills that you picked up along your journey on the L300 program?
yes.
Okay, tell us about those skills that you picked up.
Communication skill, as I
Great.
said, teamwork, self motivation. Why I say self motivation basically is that as out there in the volunteers, we were much, and even if we do render like services, let me use that word, you may not get the accolade you get because we were so much. Basically, it was not us doing eye service, let me put it like that. Exactly. So there were times where you will feel like nobody is noticing me, but I've worked and worked and worked. But then you get to, tell yourself that you've tried, you've really done well. Teamwork, as I said, we were so much, we had so many tasks to be done together. So we had to come together as a group. Time management, my days. As much as we were much, we had so many things to do. We were L300 volunteers and we were also students at the same time. We had, and the first thing we came to do in BIU was because of our books. So we had to find a way to balance our L300 extracurricular activities and then being a student at the same time. So looking back, I can say yes, it's a good one.
Yeah, speaking of looking back, I like you to look back. So, this is you here. Can you remember this day?
Very vividly. Oh my days.
Have you ever changed much?
The hairstyle hasn't changed. Oh my god. Truly. It's amazing looking back. Like actually having evidence to see that okay, there's been growth. 100 level or 200 level we would not be doing this.
This goes on a level.
Yes, I would not be doing this. This girl over here would not be doing this. Look at me today, and definitely L300 played a very big role in my growth. This is where it all started, basically 100 level. When we moved to this campus, L300 was the first thing that I joined in Bulgaria. So
Awesome. So, what were some of the things, or who were some of the people that made the greatest impression on you on the program?
Dr. Alex. Um, First of all, when you go into BIU, you will hear Dr. Alex. The first person you will hear of is Dr. Alex
Hey,
back
Jesus.
then. So I was like, who is this person? Who is this person? But then I met him. Joshua. Um, there's somebody that people would actually overlook, but Tejiri, he's there. Exactly. As playful as he was, he always got the job done. He never got distracted. I think that's one thing I actually learned from him. So yeah, these are the people that kept me going.
Shout out to you, Tejiri. You're among people that inspired her, made impression on her while she was there. I won't say Joshua, whoever I'll be mentioning Joshua. So Joshua,
Joshua
take your
can
flowers, but it's
go.
okay. So what are some of the programs on the L300 program itself that really had impression on you? There was online, there was train session, there was podcast, there was movies, there was school outreach, there was class outreach, there was games night, and we did that 100 exercise. What were those? Which of the programs particularly made the most impression on you while you were on the program?
Okay, we had school outreach, we had class outreach. I think basically those two, because I think one thing I've actually been repeating is the fact that I would not stand in front of people to talk. School outreach destroyed that invitation completely, and class outreach. Imagine, and that was in 100 level. Imagine going to meet people that are still in your age range to talk to them. What do you actually know they are going to tell them? But then again, it helped boost my self-esteem basically. So school outreach was so amazing. Class outreach was also so
For you part
amazing.
of people were to make my neighbor that the person that you spoke to then is not in
He's
BIA.
now in you can imagine exactly he's now in BIU. And funny how he was even the one that was like, oh hi, I remember you from somewhere, like from where you were explored. Like amazing, amazing. And there was a time that I actually was the one that went by myself and I was the one that spoke to like so many young people, and to be there, you can literally see yourself in them that I was there like literally not even up to a year, and now I'm standing here being the one giving the speech and encouragement and advice. So Solar Church was one of those all night. Um, as much as I like sleeping, all night was one of the things that stretched me. Um, Even if it was fun and playful, there was so after the play, come back to business, and we had so many times that we learned so many things. Would watch We always watch movies, but it was not movies for fun. It was movies to learn something. As you're watching the movie and you're laughing, hold your pen and your book and be taking notes, because at the end of the movie, Dr. Alex is going to ask you, what have you learned from this movie? And you'll be like, I thought we were here to chill, honestly speaking. But yeah, online school outreach and class outreach. Class outreach, how it was actually quite different was that school outreach, you are going out, so you can still have that mentality that, oh, I don't know anybody here, it's easier. But you're in school, these are your peers basically, that you can actually feel it's easy for them to say some certain things, but then the courage, the confidence you have to build in order to actually do these things. Because after you leave their class, they can see you any other place on campus. And be like, oh, that's the girl that spoke to me that day. So yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so on the program, would you say there were challenges you had while you were on the program?
Yeah.
Tell us about some of the challenges.
Um okay, challenges during my stay as a volunteer, basically. There were so many times that, mind you, we have amazing people in L300. So sometimes I felt like I was not being heard, or like I didn't give like myself like in the house basically. So I think that was one challenge I faced personally. But then again, there's nothing that you're going to do that's not going to stress you out. But L300, as much as we enjoyed ourselves, we grew. It came with its own stress, basically. There were times where immediately after class, before you even drop your bag, your books, we have your meeting. The times that your classmates were sleeping or they are doing one thing or the other, we had a meeting. Or the days that we didn't have class, we had school outreach to go for. So basically, the stress that came alongside that, I think that was part of the challenges I have, but we always found a way to overcome. So
So you grew from the stress, like
definitely.
like the Egyptians. The more they
Now we
afflicted
know
them,
how
the
to
more they
place
grew.
we know how to place it head on. So we don't run away from these things anymore. We go for it.
Okay, so now looking back at the whole program that you were part of while you were a student, now you're a graduate, while you're a student, what would you say on the actual program were the most memorable moments for you that you could look back at and say, wow, I will never forget this moment. It was just epic for me. It was memorable for me.
School outreach. Um Standing there and doing those things I never saw myself doing. I think that's something that we never ever forget, and I will always appreciate L300 and Dr. Alex for. And then all night, it was a time for bonding, time for learning, for fun, and it was actually vulnerable moments. We shared so many vulnerable moments with each other, so it was really beautiful, and the journey so far has been amazing.
Now, if you had come to BIU and then there was no L300 program, how do you think you still would have been?
Hmm.
Why you did
funny
that?
how funny how before I joined L300, I wasn't with the best clique. So and it was really it was showing because it was affecting me mentally. There were some like side comments. I'm not the tallest person, obviously, and the people I was with, they were tall people. So there were some side comments or some things that usually happen, and I always looked down on myself. Um, but if I did not join L300, basically, I really don't know what would have happened. Probably I would have, let me use the word, gone into the world basically. But then L300 was there. So if L300 was not there, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Even the leadership position that I held while I was a student, it started from L300. If you remove L300, I don't think there's any other thing there.
Awesome. Now, I've talked about the program, how impactful and how beneficial it was for you. Now, tell us about being a volunteer. Why did you now choose to be a volunteer? Now, we interviewed someone a while back, I think Tejiri. He said that the LTV program will help you grow, but being an LTV volunteer will help you grow faster. So, how was it like for you as a volunteer?
Okay. First of all, that was really amazing. KG, thumbs up to you for that. For me, I knew I had like potentials. I knew I could do some certain things even if I hadn't tried. Um, L300 basically just sharpens you. Even if it doesn't sharpen you, it will plant something in you. So I started L300 because I wanted to change my environment, the people, my surrounding. Um, so joining, the whole idea was okay, let me just keep myself busy, if at all. Even if I don't know what I want to do here now, but I know I want to serve. So I'm just going to be here to keep myself busy. With time, I'm sure something's going to come up. And something actually happened. So many amazing opportunities came in here. So yeah, I think that was it for me.
So you would say that being a volunteer for you and the L200 program was actually the game changer for
Yes, it
you.
was. It really was. Definitely.
Awesome. Okay, now as we begin to wrap up, what would be your advice to people who are still students in BIU who feel like I don't want to do this L200 thing? It's the stress. Right now we have upgraded from just a physical meeting to now online meetings, and many of our things are now online. So I say, no, I don't have data, I don't have this, I don't have that. what would you advise them now that you were part of both phase? You were part of the physical phase and the bit into the online phase before you got to finance. So, what would you advise those people?
Join, be a volunteer, because L300 is for BIU as a whole. But then being a volunteer itself, it's a game changer, like you said. You may not necessarily know what you're coming here to find, but one thing I will actually advise them is to come here open-minded. Do it like it's the last thing you want to do, because oh my god, there are so many great things that L300 has done for basically people that have left and people that are still here. So my advice would be like, just do it. Don't give excuses. Coming from somebody that give excuses so many times, don't give excuses basically, because you may not see it now, but by the time a year or two or three has passed and you look back, it's great memories you're going to have. So many places of growth. It's going to be amazing. So just join if you want. I would even advise for you to be a volunteer. Be a volunteer, not just participating in L300 program itself. Be a volunteer. Be an L300 volunteer. It's amazing.
You get to do movies, podcasts, any of those things.
I did podcasts for a while.
Yeah.
The time they were shooting movies, I was never around in school. So I think that was one of the reasons that made me not to shoot movies. But for the podcast, when I was available, I did podcasts. And when we would record, the recording phase itself was so funny. But when we were done recording and we got to listen to it, that's so it speaks so much sense. It's so amazing. It's amazing.
You see, I have a mental picture of you the day you were rolling on the floor when your hostel won the competition.
Yeah, you don't know what it is to not believe in you, but you know that you have backing from God. No. You, the whole competition itself, first of all, I was put in a hostel that had won twice back to back. It was not going to be my turn that we're not going to win. So I was like, no, we have to do this. And then you'd hear side talks about they will not win. No. This time around they will not win. But we won. 3. No. We did it. We did it. With teamwork. Without L300, I don't think I would even be there in the first place. I would not know how to work with people. Exactly. And being a leader is not only like giving out roles for people to do, it's being there for everybody again. So yes, I would have not been able to fit into that role, to be there to head it all, and then we now are no. That's a confidence booster.
So you think that was one of your high points while in school?
No.
No, and not the highest, like one of them.
One of them, definitely. Yes, definitely.
Now, as we wrap this up, there's this phrase that we always say on the L300 program, which is "I love BIU because it is where I met you." Okay. Was that phrase ever real for you?
Yes, it was.
Tell us about it. Let's wrapping this up.
Coming to BIU, I was I was the type of person that was always on my own. I didn't find talking to people like necessary accepted. But I have met so many amazing people in BIU. As in so many amazing people in BIU. So that phrase, that logo, slogan rather, it is what it is, basically. It is who we think it is. I've met amazing friends, so supportive, amazing friends in here. Joshua, Anita, Tejiri, Sunshine, Coco, Harry, Joanne, amazing people. Dr. Alex, no, definitely. I have met amazing people. And I love BIU because this is where I met people. Without them, it would have been a different story entirely, because these people were there when you should See, that's why it's important to surround yourself with amazing people, because when you don't have that strength, their strength backs you up. They are there for you. So it's
Awesome. So, guys, you heard it from Komen, right? Fresh graduate, newly minted, never been used before.
accountant. Yeah.
Wow, wow, amazing, amazing. So, guys, you heard it from her. She shared impact story of how the program has been impactful for her and why you too should get serious with the program, whether just going through the program itself or even becoming an L300 volunteer, which will make your growth even faster for you while you're here. So, as we get to call this the wrap for today, once again, thank you, Komen, for being here. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And like we always say here, L300, I love BIU because it is where I met you. So, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you again on another interview with another amazing person who will be sharing their L300 impact story. So, until then, have a great day.